and welcome. I welcome you and hope that you will take time to share with me today for the next half hour. And my guest is Dr. Roger Rhoades, and he is a family therapist. And Dr. Rhoades has been my guest on the show a number of times, and we've had many people call and comment on how helpful he has been, and I've had some letters the same way, and I appreciate hearing from people. And Roger, God love you. I call you Roger because I know you.
Oh yeah, we close, Peggy, we close.
And you're going to talk about the power of prevention.
Yes, we need to get ahead of the game. Things are going so fast for people, and before you know it, things are too bad for you to help. You know, we're talking about putting people in treatment for drugs, putting people in treatment for this, past the problem. You know, they've been arrested. Let's put them in treatment. They're having these problems. You know, it's catching it before it's happening. It's looking at it and saying, you know, there is more power in preventing. It does not mean you know your kids are going to go bad, or you know your marriage is going to go bad, or you know that these people are not going to go good. It's not that. It's saying they could, and I'm going to quit acting like everything's wonderful, and that I can't stop people or my family from making a big mistake. And one of it is like you talked about. Back in the day, if your children ran around with other kids, you knew those kids, you knew their family. And I love what you said. And if I didn't, you didn't act like you never did. You said, if I didn't, I got in the car. I drove over there. I took the time and energy to make my kids accountable. And that's a big piece. We all need to be held accountable. People live better lives when they're held accountable. Kids are better if now they will act out, Peggy. I'm not saying they won't. Don't show them out.
And they're going to make mistakes. We all made mistakes.
Yes. But it's amazing how kids interpret freedom from parents as non-loving or non-caring from parents. That when you talk to a kid at 15, he'll say, or she'll say, my parents won't let me, it's terrible, they don't care about me, whatever. But when you talk to them at 30, the one thing they'll say, Peggy, is, man, I'm glad my parents did that. I'm glad they stood in there for me. And I loved where one person said, one parent said to me, to their kids, if you never ever need an excuse for anything being done by your parents, use me. Say, I said I can't. Say to those kids, my mama won't let me. My dad won't let me. Because I'd rather be an excuse for something you didn't do stupidly. And kids get into so many things because parents don't want to look bad. They don't want to look terrible to the other kids. And our kids are let loose, and they don't realize that what that does is it causes kids to feel nobody cares. When you care, you're paranoid about where your kids are and what you're doing. You're checking up on them. I am amazed how some kids can go 24 hours and never see nor talk to any significant individual in their life. No sibling, no parent, no grandparents, no aunts or uncles. They live a life unmonitored. And the one thing we want to share with people today is monitor. And the kids who might be watching this, monitor your parents. They need to be held accountable. They sometimes, you know, they didn't get an instruction book. They might have gone off the path. They may have very innocently had a back surgery or a back pain and gotten medication. And all of a sudden, they're addicted to the medication.
It can happen. It can happen.
In a second. And all of a sudden, the family loses the house, loses their money, loses everything in a second because nobody's watching. You never want to be in a position of, I didn't know. Whether you're a child or you're an adult, you don't want to be in the, I knew it. I knew something was going on. And I threw a flag. And it's not going to make kids happy. To tell kids, especially young teenagers, the number one way, I'm going to tell you as a therapist, to tell your children you love them is one word: no. When you tell that child, no, you can't do that. No, you can't go. No, I don't know those people. No, I'm not sure about this. What they hear 10 years later is those people cared for me. Those people loved me. Those people wanted the best for me. And
Well,
kids know that parenting is hard. They're no fools.
You talk about prevention,
Yes.
and you've summed it up right there. We can't prevent cancer. We can't prevent maybe somebody having an accident. We can't, but the things we can prevent,
Yes.
we can do by being vigilant.
Yes.
But you don't
what a
wanna-
great word.
You
What
don't
a great
want to
word.
be spying on your kids.
Yeah, but and I want people to hear on TV today, spy.
But you-
be vigilant.
Now,
be
wait a minute, Roger,
paranoid.
control
Go
your-
right ahead. I don't care what people
yourself,
say.
Roger.
No, man. Somebody needs to throw the flag. Somebody needs to throw a flag and say, watch people. Hold everybody in your life accountable. Check up on you. Check up on others. And I guarantee you, the two things you've got to take away from people is time and opportunity. When anybody has time and opportunity, bad stuff happens. Affairs take time and opportunity. Addiction takes time and opportunity. Your guest that you had a while back, human trafficking takes time and opportunity. That's what you've got to remove that. You've got to step in the gap and hold people accountable. And I want you to hear, I am not talking at all about popularity. And I am not talking about being correct with the neighborhood. No, I would rather you be the parent that wouldn't let your child do something than the parent sitting at the gravesite crying, saying woulda, shoulda, coulda. That is what's happening out there. That is what's happening in South Carolina. That's happening in all 50. That kids are not being monitored. Parents are not being monitored. There's too much personal freedom, and in that, people have a tendency to make really dangerous positions. And there's another group who makes money off of people making dumb decisions.
Oh.
You know, there is a lot of money in stupidity. Wow, I just can't believe how I look at some people and I think, man, that's stupid. But somebody, if you follow that story long enough, you see there's somebody making money
Off of
people's
their
bad
actions.
stuff. I can remember, Peggy, going to Las Vegas to speak and seeing some people, 5 guys, and they were drinking and smoking and gambling away, literally thousands, not hundreds, thousands of dollars. I couldn't believe it, made my stomach hurt watching it. I'm like, oh, and they said to me, I just met them, you know, how you doing, you know, and they said, we save up all year to throw this money away, and we don't leave till we're out of money.
Oh.
And this kind of stuff is happening all around us. That's just Vegas years ago. This is happening in Greenville today. This is happening in South Carolina. This is happening in Georgia, North Carolina. You can't go where people are not being stupid. And stupid is not free, Peggy. I'd like to say, yeah, you know, you can go in the back 40 and you can be all stupid and do stupid stuff and everything. No, that doesn't exist anymore. There are people out there that are encouraging you to be stupid and are looking for you to not monitor your kids. Because if you don't monitor your kids, they'll take them. If you don't monitor your money, they'll take it.
And of course, it's more difficult now than it ever was. I mean, it used to be, you know, you could know who your kids were with, and who their friends were, where they went. But now we've got
the internet.
The internet.
It's scary.
And they don't always, parents can't always be there, and they get caught up in things not by physical, not by their friends at school or whatever, but something in the internet. It's totally removed from any circumstance that they're in.
Yes, and the one thing I never want to hear is they have a security. They have, whoever they are, their parents, the kids, whoever, have a security code that I don't know to get into their phone, to get into their internet, that they've got a special code. But the only person who knows it is them. If I hear that, if I come in and I'm doing marriage therapy and I hear that, I say, whoa, immediately. Never get on the internet that your spouse can't get on it. Don't ever get in a place where you couldn't open it up right there.
See what your teenagers are.
Yes, teenagers, spouses, friends, whatever. The more accountable you are, I've just noticed the more accountable people are, Peggy, the nicer they are, the better they live.
The happier they are.
Oh,
that I know.
But initially, there's a charge to getting away with something. Oh, I'm getting away with it, or I'm hiding somebody, or I'm keeping it. And it's like, no, you don't need to keep it from anybody. You need to open it up there. You need to have your life. And what you do for prevention circumstances needs to be an open book.
All right.
And if you open the book, then let me tell you, you behave better. People who are monitored, you know, if you want to know how that works, put somebody where there's no police in an area, and watch how they act. Oh, man. You know. Well, what stops them from stealing? What stops them from running stop signs? What stops them from going speed limit? Well, that's the police. Take the police out. Who's the police? The police are professional monitors. And the police aren't in your family, but that kind of attitude needs to be there. And again, it's not about popularity. Doesn't matter your kids are mad. Doesn't matter that they don't fit in. Doesn't matter that they feel like you're hard.
So it's important to decide ahead of time, as a family, what is acceptable and what isn't. And then to have a way that you say to your children, you can do this and this and this, but we're not getting involved in that. And let them know up front.
Yes, you see, I've got to practice what I preach. If I want my kids to be open, if I want my kids to be monitored, if I want my kids to be accountable for their actions, then I better be accountable to mine. I need to have people that I am accountable to. Now, back in the day, that was called your neighbors. You know?
Yeah, sure. People lived in a neighborhood. They knew each other. It was different.
By name. They knew where they went to church. They knew where they shopped their clothes. They knew where they did their laundry. They knew where they fixed their car. Now, we don't even know the name of the person next door.
Many times. We have to go to a quick break. We'll be right back.